The Mandalorian. He was rescued and raised by the Mandalorians as a foundling. Now he spends his time pursuing bounties, assigned by the Bounty Hunters Guild. However, his life takes an unexpected turn when he agrees to a job from a mysterious client who is associated with an existing remnant of the defeated Galactic Empire. The task is to retrieve a rare and enigmatic asset with the promise of a single bar of Beskar steel. As down payment, the Mandalorian brings the steel to a hidden enclave of Mandalorians, where an armor uses it to craft him a pauldron. He then heads to the planet where the target is believed to be located, where he encounters Cole, who is fed up with the frequent bounty hunting activity in his area. Many have passed through. They seek the same one as you. He agrees to assist the Mandalorian and directs him to a heavily fortified encampment. He teams up with IG-11, a bounty hunting droid, to clear the camp and locate the target. They eventually discovered that the quarry is a child. Now the droid attempts to kill the infant for its bounty orders. The Mandalorian intervenes, destroying the droids, taking the child alive. Upon returning with the child, he discovers that his ship is being stripped for parts by the Jawas. He attempts to attack them, but they manage to escape in their sandwich. The following day, Quill assists him, tracking down the Jawas and negotiating the return of his ship's components. In exchange, the Mandalorian agrees to procure the egg of a mudhorn, a rhino-like creature. He locates the mudhorn's cave, but the creature viciously attacks him and damages his armor in a prolonged and intense struggle. The mudhorn is on the brink of killing the Mandalorian when the child unexpectedly uses some sort of power to levitate the creature, enabling the Mandalorian to kill it. With the ship's parts recovered, Coil assists tend to repair the ship. After delivering the child to the client on Navarro and receiving his reward of 20 bars of Beskar steel, the Mandalorian departs to return to the Enclave for repairs and upgrades to his armor and weapons. The armorer uses most of the Beskar steel to replace and enhance the Mandalorian's damaged equipment. Subsequently, he accepts another job from Karga and prepares to leave. However, overwhelmed with guilt for abandoning the child, he returned to the client's base, kills the stormtroopers guarding it, and rescues the child from Dr. Kerching's laboratory, where it was being subjected to experimentation. As he tries to return to his ship, he is ambushed by Karga and other bounty hunters, who demand that he surrender the child. He refuses, and a battle ensues. Despite being outnumbered in order, he is saved. When other Mandalorians arrived from the enslaved two, attacks about, the others they created a version, allowing him to escape with the child and board the ship. Arriving on the sparsely populated planet of Sorgan, the Mandalorian meets Cara Dune, a former Rebel Alliance shock trooper, who is now a mercenary, hiding from unwanted attention. She asks the Mandalorians a leave to avoid drawing attention to the planet, but before he can depart, some desperate fishermen approach him for help. They want him to drive away a group of Clitonian raiders who have been attacking their village. He agrees to the job in exchange for lodging and hires Dune. They stay with a widowed mother named Amara. Later, he reveals to her that he has not removed his helmet in front of anyone since he was a child. Together with Dune, they assist the villagers in repelling the raiders and destroying an old Imperial droid. After he plans to leave the child in the village, a guild bounty hunter discovers them and is killed by Dune, realizing that the child is not safe, and decides to depart with him, leaving the peaceful village. After engaging in a dogfight with a bounty hunter, the Mandalorian Crash lands his damaged ship at a repair dock run by a mechanic called Pilamedo and Mos Eisley on Tatooine. Look at that. To pay for the repairs, he seeks work and meets Toro Calican, an aspiring bounty hunter who is tracking Fennec Shand, an elite mercenary and assassin. Calican needs to capture Fennec to join the guild, and the Mandalorian agrees to help. In exchange for the bounty reward, they manage to capture Fennec in the desert, but one of their speeder bikes was destroyed during the shootout. While the Mandalorian goes to retrieve a dewback for transportation, Fennec tells Calican that the Mandalorian has betrayed the guild by stealing the child, causing the bounty on him and the child to be worth more than hers. She offers to help Calican capture the Mandalorian if he sets her free, but he shoots her instead and takes Pelion, the child, hostage. He arrived to Zorian's Callahan with a flare and kills him. He then uses Callahan's money to pay Peely for the repairs. Before leaving Tatooine, the Mandalorian goes to his former partner, Rand Mag, who offered a job as part of a 5-man team, the team containing Mayfeldberg, Droid Pilot, and Zion, who are on a mission to rescue Zion's brother, Ken, a prisoner of the New Republic. They infiltrate the prison ship and fight off security droids while killing the ship's security chief. However, during the mission, the team double-crosses the Mandalorian and triggers a security beacon. Droid finds a message from Cargo to the Mandalorian about the child. He escapes and defeats each member of the team, except Kin, whom he captures. The remaining Mayfield, Berg, and Zion are locked up on the prison before delivering Kin to Ran. He then departs with his payment, while Ran launches a fighter to kill him. Without knowing that Kin was the bait, a trio of New Republic X-Wing fighters arrived and shoots down the station. Upon receiving a message from Karga, the Mandalorian learns that the client's troops have invaded and taken over Karga's town on Navarro. Karga suggests that he use the child as baits to lure the client and kill him, freeing the town from the occupation. Suspecting a trap, the Mandalorian teams up with Dune and Coil, who brings along a reprogrammed IG-11 to protect the child. They meet Karga and his associates, but are attacked by flying creatures during the chaos. Karga is wounded, and the child uses its ability to heal him. Karga then betrays his associates and reveals his original plan to take the child to the client. Now Moff Gideon, the client's superior, arrives with troops and kills the client. The Mandalorian, Karga, and Dune are trapped inside the building, while Gideon demands that they hand over the child. Meanwhile, outside the town, 2 scout troopers kill Kohil and kidnap the child. IG-11 manages to rescue the child from the scout troopers and the Mandalorian. Karga and Dune are then cornered by Moff Gideon and his troops. Gideon demands that they hand over the child, threatening to execute them if they refuse. The droid arrives just in time to save them, but during the ensuing battle, the Mandalorian is injured. He instructs the others to escape and find help from his Mandalorian enclave. He is tended to by IG-11, who removes his helmet to save him. When they regroup, he discovers that the other Mandalorians have left, except for the armor, who charges him with the task of returning the child to its kind. They make their escape down an underground lava river, but are ambushed by stormtroopers at the end of the tunnel. The droid self-destructs to take out the troops, and the Mandalorian uses his jetpack to bring down Gideon's ship. Cargo and Dune stay behind on Navarro, while the Mandalorian sets out on his new mission with the child. As it turns out, Gideon survived the crash and is now in possession of the Darksaber.